Hi, Dr. Paul Haider here. You know, a lot of people think that there's just destiny and we really don't have any way of changing that, but that's not really the reality of the whole thing. We have the power to change whatever we want to do. You know, we could go out and buy some farmland and sit there in the middle of the field and look around and nothing would happen. And we would starve to death, you know. Or we could get out and with a shovel and we start digging, furrows, turning over the soil, composting, and we get some seed and we start planting, and eventually we have food. So it really is kind of up to us as to our destiny in together with our karma and our creation of what we've done in the past. It is kind of like taking a horse and we tie them to a post, and it's got a long rope and we kind of let them eat around all the grass, and they got a lot of grass to eat, and they have a lot of leeway to do whatever they want as far as moving here and there and munching on this little morsel, or maybe going over here to munch on that morsel. But eventually, they eat down all the grass, and then their master comes, unties them, moves them to another post, and then they eat all the grass around that one. And so we have our ways of being. We're put on a path, but exactly at the same time we have the ability to change whatever we want to do. And it depends on what our karma is, what we've done in the past. And every time we give service and are loving and kind, we mark out some of that karma. And every day, depending on what we think and do and say, a little bit more of that karma is marked out, or we tally up a little bit more. So it's about us allowing ourselves to be giving service to others and caring about other people and doing what we can do every day to make a difference in the lives of other people and in the planet and to all sentient beings, and making a difference. That's making a difference. It is true that we have powers inside of us. We are, God beings. God lives inside of our heart, and we are powerful. There's no doubt about that. And when we come together with more sentient beings, more people gather together, we are even more powerful. And I think a lot of times, especially right now, a lot of people feel like they're powerless, but that's not true. Every one of us has an amazing amount of power deep down inside. And I think that's more readily seen with the baby boomers. A lot of the baby boomers went out and changed the world. Some started businesses that had microcomputers like Apple and Microsoft, and others went out and started Peace Corps, and others went out and helped people in Africa. We had a lot of different things. There is nothing that we can't do. Our tether is the planet, and it's posted here in the middle of the planet. We can go anywhere we want. In fact, nowadays we're actually leaving the planet. Even women are becoming astronauts and engineers and anything and everything, which is amazingly wonderful. We have the whole possibility of everything available to us. There is this destiny. We're put on a path, but we can vary from that path in an amazing amount of ways. But we have a co-creation going on. A co-creation which is whatever you desire, whatever your heart wants to do to make life better for other people. And when you desire to make life better for other people, good things come your way. Blessings and miracles usually come in threes, in 1, 2, and 3. And when you start to see those miracles coming your way, it is powerful. You start to see everything unfold in a way that allows you to grow and change and become more of who you are deep down inside. A lot of people have this persona, and you know those people. They have this big booming voice, and you never really get to know who they are deep down inside. And once we take away all that persona, once we strip away all the ego, once we strip away all that, outer show, we get to the real person, the person who is in love with God, the person who is in love with life, the person who is in love with just being. Now, I think a lot of people have forgotten how to be. We do a lot of doing, which is all well and good. It was great to do. But to sit and listen to the doves cooing in the morning, we have them here every morning. Or as Thoreau talked about, sitting and watching the birds, fly in, and see the blue jays come in and pick up acorns, and watch the trees lose their leaves in the fall, and just be embraced in the silence. And then all of a sudden he'd hear in the distance, a wagon moving along, and it would bring him back to where he was. And he said there was no greater gift than to be there with the oneness of everything, and to be out in nature, and to be at peace, and to live there in that little tiny cabin by himself, and sustain himself, gather his firewood, gather his food, and to be one with nature. I think man has forgotten how to do that. We are always in this rat race of running here, running there. We've forgotten how to be. But in being, we find the true nature of who we are deep down inside, which is love. Love for God, love for the one we see in the mirror, and love for everyone else. I love you.